Your attention please. Spoiler alert. 6 great magic tricks revealed and secrets exposed. You know, there's really nothing magical about magic. Sure, illusions have left audiences awestruck for centuries, but there's nothing more to these tricks than, well, tricking people. That's the fun. Good magicians can fool people into believing that whatever feat they've performed was something supernatural, when in reality, it just takes skill, preparation, and a whole lot of practice. You ready to find out how the greatest magicians pull it off? Then just keep watching carefully now. Now, before we expose these secrets, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of our daily uploads. There's something for everybody here on the bright side, so be sure to join us. Now, some of you may remember this trick from an episode of America's Got Talent. Will Tsai, a close-up magician, wowed the judges and audience with his amazing coin matrix. This illusion features Tsai placing 4 coins on a table and magically transforming them into rose petals. In this trick, the real magic comes from the table, not from Tsai's finger waving. His prop table is engineered to either conceal or reveal what's ever placed on top of it, and Tsai controls this mechanism with a foot pedal. Once the coins are in place, he does the customary finger wiggling to make it more mysterious and to make sure the audience is focused on his hands rather than his feet. When the timing is right, he passes his hands over the coins one by one and presses the pedal to switch the coins with the rose petals stored underneath. Maybe you could use something like this to impress your next date, huh? Another impressive performance on America's Got Talent used the Svengali phenomenon to wow onlookers. Matt Franco's trick starts out with him presenting a large gift-wrapped box and promising to reveal its contents later. He then pulls out a huge, spiral-bound sketchbook with a drawing of a snowman in a different outfit on each page, only the pages have been cut into 3 parts. Each part has a section of the snowman's outfit, the top part with a hat, the middle section with a tie, and the bottom part with buttons. He walks up to the judges and has them put their finger on a page as he flips through the sketchbook. In the end, the judges have each chosen a section to dress the snowman up in a complete outfit. But that's not all. When Franco opens the box, he reveals a stuffed snowman dressed in the exact outfit the judges chose. Ooh. So, how did he do it? Well, the stuffed snowman was obviously already dressed before it was put in the box. Franco just had to make sure the judges chose the right pages to dress it with. Every other page in Franco's drawing pad is cut a bit shorter than the one preceding it, setting the judges up to choose the longer pages with the hat, tie, and buttons that match the stuffed snowman's. Participant manipulation is a common practice in illusions like this. If you can't get them to do what you want, you might end up embarrassing yourself. Penn and Teller, a famous Vegas duo that have been performing illusions together since the 1970s, have a bullet-catching act that sends audience members shooting out of their seats in applause. 2 volunteers from the audience sign bullets that are then loaded into guns that Penn and Teller fire at each other through an obstacle, like a sheet of glass or a piece of paper. The bullet, signed by Penn's volunteer, somehow ends up in Teller's mouth and vice versa. How on earth do they pull off such a feat? Through some clever sleight of hand and backstage help, that's how. When their bullets are signed, the illusionists discreetly slip them into their jacket pocket and switch them out with wax bullets to load into their guns. After the guns are loaded, they take off their jackets and start putting on goggles and bulletproof vests, for safety. But when they hand their jackets off to the backstage crew, the assistants take the bullets from the pockets and slip them into the vests. As the magicians fumble with putting their vests on over their heads, they discreetly put the bullets into their mouths. When they shoot, they really do fire the weapons, just with wax bullets. Penn and Teller open their mouths and voila! The signed bullets are caught right between their teeth. Now, don't try this at home, folks. Guns are still dangerous even when the bullets aren't real. Another dynamic duo is the couple Jonathan and Charlotte Pendragon, who hold the Guinness World Record for the fastest transformation illusion for their trick Metamorphosis. To start, Jonathan climbs into a bag that Charlotte ties off at the top to prevent him from escaping. She then locks him into a box, stands on top of it, and lifts a giant cloth. In the next second, she drops the cloth and Jonathan is on the top of the box. And when he opens it, Charlotte is now inside. Now, that's gotta be magic, right? Well, it turns out the only magic at play here is extreme flexibility and dexterity. The Pendragons are both former gymnasts. Charlotte also has a background in dance and bodybuilding, and Jonathan has experience with springboard diving and martial arts. Their bodies and props are engineered for this trick. You see, the bag Jonathan starts out trapped in actually has a zipper along the seam that he can open to get out. The box has a pop-out back that he can push to free himself and hide behind it. When Charlotte lifts the cloth, Jonathan climbs up to take her place. She, of course, jumps down to crawl into the box and zip herself up in the bag. All of this in a matter of seconds. Bravo! Now, the next trick takes a bit more time to carry out. British magician Dynamo levitates up the side to the top of a bus, extends his arm to hold onto it, and floats along while the bus continues its route through the streets of London. It seems like he's done something magical, but this is all just a clever marketing trick on behalf of Pepsi. It's all possible simply because Dynamo's arm that's holding onto the bus isn't real. It's actually a metal pole that's secured to the bus and disguised by a latex arm. There's also a harness underneath for him to strap into that tucks his real arm into his side. In fact, pretty much everything about this trick is fake, including the bus. Well, it's a real bus, of course, but its drivers and passengers are in on the trick. Plus, there's no such bus in London that travels the route that Dynamo rides around on. Pepsi hired him to perform this stunt, so it's no coincidence that he's floating in front of a perfectly placed Pepsi ad. There's no magic quite like the magic of marketing, right guys? Now, for the piece de resistance. David Blaine's regurgitating frogs trick. Blah! How does he do it? If you can't wait to know the secret, then you'll be disappointed to find out that there really isn't one. The frogs are real, they're alive. He actually swallows them, and then he really spits them up. Yuck! Blaine spent years learning to control his gag reflex, a feat many aspiring magicians train for by using a baby potato attached to a string. They'll swallow the potato and pull on the string to teach their stomach muscles how to push objects back up into their mouths. Hey, when I was a kid, I just practiced my cornet. Blaine has mastered this ability like many before him, including the famous Mac Norton. Norton was known for regurgitating live frogs and goldfish, earning him the nickname the Human Aquarium. Apparently, regurgitation is a pretty old trick, with origins dating back to the 1600s and beyond. It was initially called water spouting, since it involved drinking as much water as possible and then spouting it out of your mouth in controlled streams. Boy, you just don't see that on TV anymore. The great Haji Ali took this trick a step further by drinking kerosene after the water so that it would sit at the top of his stomach. He would then spit the kerosene out of his mouth to start a fire. After that, he put it out by regurgitating the water that had been sitting under the kerosene in his stomach. Whoa! David Blaine was actually the first person since Haji Ali to perform this trick, and he's also one of the only illusionists to ever attempt regurgitating animals. There's a lot of risk involved with performing this trick, as I'm sure you can imagine. No one wants to chance miscounting the number of animals they've swallowed and accidentally digesting something that's still alive. Was that 7 or 8? I forget. To protect the frogs from his stomach acid, Blaine probably drank enough water beforehand to coat his stomach lining and to give his little friends a pool to swim around in. Either that, or he let them hang out in his esophagus. I don't know, still seems a little cruel to me. And there you have it, folks. Turns out the only real magic is what people are capable of when they really put the effort in. Would you ever attempt any of these tricks? Maybe the little potato and the string thing? No? Maybe you know the secret behind some others. Let us know down in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, and always remember to stay on the bright side of life.